Sound is such a powerful experience that an audience connects to. The very first films were MOS without sound, and the Lumiere brothers caused a stampede with their first film Arrival on a Train because people literally thought a train was aiming towards them.
D.W. Griffith, in his film Birth of a Nation, 1915, made a racist film using an orchestra and score to manipulate an audience and rewrite history.
Sunrise by F.W. Murnau equally creates a subjective experience for the audience. What is sound if it's so subjective? What is it and why? Well, sound is more like water than air. The waves of sound are not like arrows shooting at a target. They're something we actually feel around us. So sound displaces a void around us. It penetrates like air, but it also reverberates. That's deep. But if we blow into our hand from 5 inches away, we feel it. But if we actually speak into our hand, and you can try this, we also feel the waves. They're a physical experience that touches us.
Would you please remove any metallic...
We know this because we've all experienced the bone-chilling, crushing score of a Wachowski sisters film.
Shit! Back up! Stand back up!
Budovkin knew about this. He defined sound as something subjective in movies, which means he wanted sound not to be realistic, but to be emotional.
I just sat there.
You didn't call anyone?
No.
Why not?
Budovkin said sound is 3 things. It's natural, it's fake natural,
I don't know,
and it's actual.
Thought that...
So sound being natural means it's world tone, it's outside, it's what we are hearing. Fake natural means we use Foley to recreate sounds, like the creaking of a door. Now, actual means what we filter through our perceptions.
You think it was your fault?
And it is actually how we are experiencing it, which is why score affects our emotions. We can really feel this in this sequence
I can't move.
in Get Out by Jordan Peele.
You can't move.
Why can't I move?
You're paralyzed. Just like
Sound in this clip is counterpoint to the visual image. We are with him as he melts into nothing,
Now,
as he grasps
sink into the
for dear life
sink.
at the corners of the chair. When we have no images, we experience nothing. But if I played music, now you can experience the universe. This brings us to actually experiencing silence. So let's see how the great Walter Murch used silence. Do you recognize that noise? It's the 4 train in the Bronx. He's from the Bronx and he recorded it and stuck it in the film. The screeching sound connects us to the suspense in the story. He drops it right on the turning point. When Michael is thinking, should I go through with it? This artificial sound projects us into Michael's head and delivers us to the moment that he decides he is going to be loyal to his family and commit murder.
Il cane ti fa un e mettiamo tutto a posto. Sti fissaria, siete finiti.
So how does this apply to the films I love? Well, a lot of the writers, directors, or at least the ones I love, direct their stories from sound. They hearalize their stories rather than visualize them. One example is Lynn Ramsey, and she has a powerful collaboration with Paul Davies. She constructs the narrative based on sound. Scenes are like orchestral movements. In this clip, it's definitely agitated. She also uses music to make an ironic comparison, the loss of innocence. This brings us to another female, director, who hearalizes sound when she writes and directs her films. Lucrezia Martel is the Argentinian filmmaker who changed the way we discover a story. By discover, it's because she uses sound to make us question what we are seeing or not seeing in the visual image.
José, estabas aquí.
How does she do this? Well, it starts with the relationship between sound and affect. What does affect mean? And I'm quoting, affect means to have an effect on. I always get those confused. To make a difference, to act on, to work on, to condition, to touch. Sound, yes, it sways our feelings, but it touches us. It physically touches us. We are in the point of view of one of the kids in this water, splashing around. Lucrezia Martel once said, "You can close your eyes, but not your ears." Imagine closing your eyes. You could completely feel what it's like to be in this water. The sound touches you, and suddenly you're in a 3D experience. She makes sound events. The opening of La Ciénaga introduces the entire story through sounds surrounding the party at the pool. She doesn't have an establishing shot of the swimming pool. She uses establishing sounds. We hear the screeching sound of the chairs being dragged along the concrete pool, the shattering of a glass breaking, and then silence. We think, who are these numb people? And to that extent, her films are also about sound, the dialects in Argentina, and the different social and economic power struggles that associate you with the elite who speak correctly. Her stories are also audio-visual histories. She recreates what it was like to grow up in the 70s in Argentina. Really to create full immersion. The films she makes create an immersive experience. That's why for me sound is so powerful. It is an immersive experience that reaches out to me. It doesn't tell me how to think, but really tells me how to feel. Sound in film immerses us into the life of a character. It sparks our sonic imagination. It creates realism lodged into the present moment. It inspires our own sonic memories. Heightened sound seduces us into the story. And most importantly, it physically touches our skin. We physically feel sound waves, giving us bone-chilling goosebumps as we watch a movie.